Good afternoon, everybody. Twice in 1 week. Who'd have thought you get an absolute, I don't know what is a clutch of Karens. I don't know what's the word for a bunch of Karens. I don't know.
An excellence of
Oh,
Karen.
I like it. An excellence of Karens. So as you can see, I've been joined by the fabulous Ginette Tessier. Good afternoon. And you said good morning.
I know. Don't worry. Good afternoon to you too.
Good afternoon. So lunchtime. I actually had the first part of my lunch with the wonderful Andrew and Pete, who are the founders of Atomicon, which I've just signed up for my third one.
Nice.
And then the second part of my lunchtime was with you. So I thought what we'd do just very quickly, people who haven't met you before and thinking, who's this random woman with Karen? Ginette and I met 4 years ago. I've worked out it's almost exactly 4 years ago when I came along to Trainer Talk live down in Warwickshire.
Nice.
And our paths have kept crossing since then and through the Complete Trainer program. I did that with you and Sharon, which was wonderful. Really enjoyed that. And more recently, through this amazing book. And I think when I did my testimonial, I said the only thing I think I wished I'd done differently was read this, met you before I developed my course, which is the thing. So, Ginette, I suppose, do you want to just introduce yourself to anybody who doesn't know you? Because there's a lot of people in my network won't have met you. So, do you want to just tell people who you are and a little bit more about what you do?
Of course, no problem at all. So I think the headline thing to know about me is that for the longest time in the Trainer Talk community, the running joke was that to any question, my answer would be, oh, that's online. And specifically, it could be an online course. And I don't mind that at all, because this is something that I am very passionate about. I went freelance back in 2014, late 2014, and I was a certified trainer, a consultant, a coach, all of these lovely things, and that's what I thought I'd be doing. But pretty soon I was looking for a way to generate some ways of earning income where I didn't actually have to be there. So some people refer to this as passive income. I'm not a fan necessarily of using the phrase passive income, because there's not an awful lot that's passive about this when you set it up. However, it was really more about setting up for myself. Am I live still?
Yeah, your face froze momentarily. Okay. And why does it always freeze in the most awful position? I can still hear you. You can still hear me. So, yes,
all right,
please continue.
You're moving now, and I'm moving on my screen. So we'll just keep going. I started looking at creating online courses really for myself. And then within various communities that I was in, people started asking me questions about it because I was finding out about it and talking about it. And pretty soon it became obvious that it was something that I enjoyed doing very much. And before long, it was something that I niched down into. So helping other subject matter experts, people who are used to standing in front of groups of people, either as a trainer, a speaker, a coach, and talking about something that they're very knowledgeable about, but when the thought of putting that stuff online and creating online business assets out of it comes into the frame, they're a little bit kind of, oh, I don't know where to start. And a lot of people get very overwhelmed very quickly with the amount of information that's out there. So my job really is to help people create those online business assets, of which online courses, digital courses are one, and to make it as smooth and as easy as possible for people. All right.
I think that when you talk about these things, I remember must be 6 or 7 years ago, my former business coach said to me, you need to have an online course. She used the word passive income, which switched me off.
Yeah.
But I think this is the challenge we have as trainers, improvers of people, is that we are wanting to help many.
Yep.
And we can't help everybody.
Yeah.
And it's an opportunity for people to work with us in a slightly different way.
Yeah.
Because you've got your business has evolved and you've got so many different courses. So
Yeah.
how do you get your head around all of this different stuff?
So my trading name is the Get That Gang, and underneath the Get That Gang, I have lots of different Get That's. So get that course online, get that website online, get that video online. Pretty much you name it, I've probably bought the domain for it, even if it isn't live at the moment. So really, for me, the Get That's are all interlinked. So when I started talking to people about online courses, pretty soon we got onto the subject of websites. And if I was talking to people about websites, pretty soon we got onto the subject of online courses, because the people I was talking to were the people who were interested in this sort of thing, but didn't really know how to fit it into their business. So
Mm.
everything else has come about as really as an extension of that, in an area where I can help people to create these things. Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things where I think it can be a real asset to people's business, and I think it is a great skill set to have. But certainly, early days, a lot of people made the assumption that I was going to tell them that they had to produce online courses and nothing else. Online courses only. You can't do anything else in your business. And of course, nothing could be further from the truth. It's about supplementing what you're doing and being able to offer more to your clients. And certainly, something that I think a lot of people will be interested in is that I think the latest stats from the CIPD, so October 22, I think the stat came out. One of the major things that HR directors, L&D leaders, trainers in corporate organizations are looking for is more on-demand learning to be available. It is absolutely something that all of our clients and potential clients are most definitely looking for, because they believe that it is going to be something that they need to integrate, if they haven't already, and a lot of them have, but integrate into their offering going forward. So if you are somebody that works with corporate organizations, with clients like that, even if you're not, even if you work with individuals, having the skill set of knowing how to create not just an online course, but an online course that sells, an online course that is effective, one that's engaging, one that people actually want to consume, is a really important skill set, because you can add it into your business in all sorts of different ways.
And that is beautifully put, can I just say? Beautifully put. And really interestingly, actually, I had coffee this morning in person with a really talented videographer, but he comes at things slightly different way, because he coaches his clients about being confident in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm putting together a course. And I said, well, I know who you need to speak to, Charlie. So I'm going to tag him in this live. I did tell him that we were going to go live today. And he said, oh, I'm not sure I'm going to be around at 1 o'clock. And that's fine. And that is the joy. And interestingly, he was sharing with me this morning that he is being asked to go in and record videos for new team onboarding.
Yes. Yeah.
So they can do it online. So you do the work once and you get to that stage that people can just watch a video. And actually, really, really randomly, we went on a cruise, gosh, seems like forever ago, back in August, first
Yeah.
cruise for 5 years. And previously, and this is the benefit of taking things online, Ginette. Previously, you have to go to the muster station, carry a life jacket with you, go through the safety briefing.
Mhm.
They had it all set up on the stateroom telly. So
Yeah.
you could watch it and you had to scan something to say you'd watched it.
Yeah.
And it's that thing around efficiency of time and process.
Yeah.
So let's rewind a bit. So
Mhm.
this amazing book,
Thank you.
tell me what made you decide to write a book? Did you do that? What was the order? You did the book first?
No, I was training people and teaching people and mentoring people in online course creation a long time before the book came out. So the book came out in February of this year. And I have to say, when I first found out about self-publishing and all that kind of thing, it was at a Trainer Talk Live session with one of the fabulous guest speakers that we get at these things. And she happens to live quite near to me, and she was interested in finding out about online courses. courses. So very shortly after her talk, she and I met up for lunch, and I was just sort of talking her through the process of online course creation. It's very similar to how you would plot out putting a book together. And I happened to say to her, oh, well, I don't really have anything that would be suitable for a book. And she said, are you kidding? People would absolutely want to buy a book about online course creation. And at that point, I'd created, I think, maybe 2 courses about creating online courses. And I was like, well, surely people would expect to get an online course about creating an online course as opposed to a book. And she said, no, trust me, there is a market out there. So I sort of swirled around this idea in my head for a little while, and I thought, well, okay, you can't say that something won't work unless you've tried it. That is absolutely a philosophy for me in running my business. I won't let myself say it won't work unless I've tried it. So I thought, right, okay, I'll start writing. And about 4 iterations later, so over the course of about 2 years, I hit upon the style that I wanted it to be in, which was all my stuff is very chatty, very me. I can't feel authentic if I'm not writing or producing something in a way that doesn't feel like me. So I'm looking for the writing style to feel like somebody was in a mentoring session with me, which is very chatty and very sort of informal to an extent, and that kind of thing. But also the layout and how I wanted to present the information, and what's really interesting, and it's similar for online course creation, of course, is that when you're trying to logically put down the steps that you would follow to create something that you know inside out and backwards, having to think that through really helps you to solidify and cement your own understanding of what it is you're doing. And this is one of the things that I've been talking to people about with online courses for years, is saying, look, you know your subject, but if you want to really get brilliant at teaching your subject, create an online course about it, because the methodology that I give you absolutely makes you really dive in to understanding properly how to explain something in a way that people will get when you're not in the room to answer any questions that they might have. And that's the essence of a great online course. So I ended up writing the book, and it was always my intention to bring out a new version of the book as an online course, which is what's being launched this week. So yeah.
Wow. And I think it's just fantastic, because I, for one, and like a lot of trainers and coaches, like to have stuff to refer back to, put my post-it notes in. But then I was an early adopter for the course, and I've put the link into the chat, so anybody watching this on catch up can click on the link and see it, because you're going to tell them a little bit more about why they should sign up for the course now, because it is just amazing. And I had so a few meetings got moved yesterday, and I love the style that you have, Ginette, because it just feels like we're having a chat. But you're actually imparting your substantial knowledge to Numpty from Newcastle, as I decided to call myself this morning, because this videographer guy was clearly very clever, and we were talking about different cameras and things and stuff like that. And I said, oh, I'm just a Numpty from Newcastle, Charlie. But I went into it, and I really like the way it's laid out. So, it's talking about foundations, course design, creation, and then getting it out there. And I suppose for me, I did my first course, like I say, it was 6 years ago, and I sort of thought, it wasn't really that good. But I'm now getting ready to relaunch the whole thing as a new iteration for next year. And the information I'm taking from doing this course with you is making me take a step back, because I think when you're passionate about your topic, it's easy to lose sight of the fundamentals that you need to have in place, isn't it? It's that framework.
Completely. And I think there are lots of reasons, obviously I'm biased, but lots of reasons to consider my online course about online courses as opposed to any others that are out there. And there are a couple of reasons for that. Number one is that sellability is baked into the methodology. So if you follow the steps that I give you and do things in the way that I suggest, you will absolutely be creating something that people are actively looking for. And as you and I both know, you never have to work hard at selling something to somebody who's already looking for the solution that you've got, right? I mean, it's a no-brainer from that point of view. So that's baked into the methodology from the start. The second reason is that when I first started finding out about this stuff, I could find a ton of resource about how to market and sell online courses, but virtually nothing about how to make it a really interesting, rewarding, engaging, and effective training experience. There was very little out there about that. And yes, I know instructional design is still very much aimed at sort of big, huge corporate organizations that were doing stuff for hundreds of people globally. There was very little aimed at people like me, who was just looking at creating something that I wanted people to enjoy, and I wanted them to come back to me and be able to do the thing that I was trying to teach them. So what I did, and what's baked in as well to my methodology, is this understanding of how to get across the information in a way that people are going to enjoy. And one of the things that I am really excited and proud of with this course, Get That Course Online, the online course, is that it offers you the ability to either fast track or deep dive depending on your existing knowledge. And the reason for that is that I have taken so many courses where you have to sit through everything the instructor is talking about, even if you know about it, just to get the bit you want. And that, to me, doesn't make any sense. It just feels like a gigantic waste of time. And I'm in this life to squeeze every last drop out of it that I can. So I don't want to be wasting my time looking or listening at things that, I've already got a pretty good understanding about. And we all come from different angles and different perspectives. So every single lesson is split into two. There's the what and why. So what this step is and why it's important in the online course creation process. And if that's enough for you, because you know about that, you can just go to the next lesson. But if you want a deeper dive, then there's at least one how-to video included in the lesson, which is right. I've given you the what and why. Now, if you want to spend a little bit more time on it, let's get into the how. Let's get into the what I recommend you do to get this thing done. So all that means is that if you're pretty clear on what the topic needs to be, what the title is, what the promise is that you're making of people, you don't need to go through the entire video just in case I've missed out a nugget of gold in there that might be useful for you. You can skip on to the bits that you do want to deep dive into. So that, I think, is really, I haven't seen anybody else doing that with an online course. So I'm really proud of being able to bring that and also seeing how it goes for people. And the third reason at the moment, and it won't last forever, is that my launch offer is absolutely stonking. I mean, the value you get for participating, for taking the course at the moment, for signing up at the moment is enormous. And I'm sure people, if they click through the link that you'll have given them, they'll be able to see all of that information. But there's all sorts of goodies in there, including being an affiliate, which of course you are, and you're the first person to have got an affiliate sale through
which is so random. And this is and I've been developing an affiliate program for my business, so it was really interesting when I got your email, because for me the offer to access your expertise was a complete no-brainer. The affiliate was like a sidebar. And then what happened yesterday was I'm doing a marketing course with a very talented lady called Victoria Prince. And she's, multi-award winning marketing expert. And a couple of weeks ago, we were having we were talking about niching and our perfect clients and really deep diving into that. And then we were talking about how we were going to work with these clients. And I said, well, I work one-to-one. Then I've got my courses that I use. And then one of the groups said, oh, I haven't a clue where to start. And I leaned over, so I was in my office that day, not here. And I said, you need to get this book. So I put the Amazon link in the Zoom chat. And yesterday we were on this call and they both showed me the book, said, look, we got the book, Karen. I said, you're not going to believe this. There's a course now. I've signed up as an early adopter because the deals and the words I use, it's a complete no-brainer to access this. And then you emailed me last night and said, I can't believe it. She signed, I'd sent you the names of the people and she signed it already.
Yeah. Yeah, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But this is, you know, part of my strategy for this, and people that join me inside my Facebook group for the Get That Gang, they'll get all the lowdown for the strategy I put together and exactly how I wanted it to play out, and all this kind of business. But for me, the important thing is to just give you an experience of as much about the way to deliver online courses to individuals as I possibly can. But that's not to say that anybody delivering online courses to corporates is forgotten about, because I've got several videos inside the course which is all about delivering to corporates as well. You know, because there are a few slight tweaks that need to be thought about. But the more I can do to then demonstrate to you, look, this is what you can do and this is how you can do it, brilliant. Because it just means that certainly for early adopters like you, it means that you know, you can promote as much or as little as you like, but if you've got the link, then people can sign up and you'll get, you know, a good affiliate commission from it, as a thank you from me for spreading the word, because you're not going to spread the word unless you like it, right? If you don't think that it's a good thing, then you're not going to talk about it. You're not going to recommend it to anybody in your network unless you believe it's something that is going to be worth their while. And you know, in return for that, then you know, I'm happy to reward you, so to speak, with affiliate commission.
Which is, you know, for me, that's just an expected bonus, because I've always run my business. My husband says I'll never be rich, on the basis of reciprocity. I can't even say it today. Reciprocity.
Yeah.
And I give with no expectation of getting back. In fact, the guy who I met this morning, I thought he'd be a great speaker for Trainer Talk Live about being confident in front of the camera. So I said to him, I'd like to chat to you about speaking this. He said, really? He says, I feel like I've done nothing to help you. I said, no, but I'm really interested in his business. And I think when you come from a place of, you know, as affiliates, for different things, you know, that we get involved in, sometimes people do an affiliate thing because it's a monetary thing, but it actually comes from a place of, for me, it was a genuine interest. When I had time yesterday to log in and start and access the learning, I thought, this is going to be helpful to so many people. And that's the thing, is if we all help each other and we all become more successful, and the world's a better place.
Completely. That's absolutely you know, something that I wholeheartedly agree with. And I don't know if you've heard the phrase before, your vibe attracts your tribe. But the people that I end up working with, by and large, are people just like you, who have this sense of reciprocity, have this sense that actually it's not all about me. If I can help this person, they can help that person, and in return it always comes back round. It
100%.
always comes back round. You know, I've been doing this stuff long enough now to absolutely have seen that. And as I say, your vibe attracts your tribe. So I'm just really fortunate to be able to work with and help people like yourself and other people that are signing up to this stuff, who really want to be able to do good things with it, which is just fantastic. And like you say, let's all make the world a better place, at the risk of, you know, getting into Miss Universe World Peace territory. That's absolutely, you know, a brilliant thing to aim for. So, you know, the more people that I can help with this stuff, the better, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, I think your vibe attracts your tribe. I think on that, I think that's a great phrase to end our live with. So what I'm going to do is I've put the link for the course into the chat, so anybody watching this on catch up can do that. I'll also what's the best way for people to contact you personally if they've got any questions about whether it's the right fit? Is that through your website?
Yeah, absolutely. Or if you're watching this on LinkedIn, then obviously I'm a contact of yours, and you tagged me in a post. So you know, if you tag me again on this, then my LinkedIn will be there, and there's contact details on it.
Fabulous. Well, Ginette, as always, it's a pleasure to speak to you, and I look forward to more learning soon.
Marvelous. Thank you, Karen, so much for inviting
me. Take care. Thank you.
Bye.